diagram, you can remember the squeeze page is the bridge between your website and your list. So you're getting people to your list, and you need to start to think that your list is actually the heart of your business, because that's where the people are. That's made up of real people. You've got your website, that serves an important purpose, but it's your list that's actually the size of your business in many cases. So the squeeze page, what you can see here on the right hand side is a very rough copy of a squeeze page. It's very simple. There's not a lot of content there, and you wouldn't have that as a squeeze page by itself. Now, if you had it down the side column of a website, then you would get away with it. But in of itself, that's just an example to show you about how you lay out the squeeze page. Now, the primary purpose, of course, of the squeeze page is to get people to opt in. So it must capture the name and email address. And here you can see the box, and we've got your name, your email, and opt-in. Now, when you sign up for an autoresponder service, a mailing list management service, they will show you how to generate an opt-in box like this. And often you can just paste that into your blog, or you can paste it into your website. And that's one thing that you should invest in. You should invest in having a good I would recommend a third-party service for your prospects. Some people do go and buy software and install it themselves, but this has a danger. You could lose your prospects, and also you could more likely end up in people's spam email box. So you want to use one of the main players when you go and get your email management software. You want to use a third-party service, and it's going to cost you about $20 a month. So your squeeze page needs to be compelling, and it needs to have an incentive. So if you're going to expect people to opt into your mailing list, they're going to need to know what's in it for them. So they're going to need to know, okay, what am I getting out of this, and what am I getting out of this right now? So you can't just say, put your name and email address here, and I'll send you a wonderful newsletter every week. People are not going to opt into that. So often you can offer them something like a downloadable report or something relevant to them, maybe a free guide, maybe a free video, maybe a video that's valued at $20 and they can watch it for free online. But you need to have an incentive to get people to opt in. Now, the most important part about your copy, or about what you're offering, I would say, is that it's highly targeted. And that should be the same model for your online business. So if you're building an internet business, maybe you've already got a blog set up, most likely that blog would be targeted to a certain niche or a certain group of people. So the more targeted you can be, the more chance you have that you're going to make it, because you can't compete something for everybody sort of level. You need to be very targeted with your internet business, and you need to be very targeted with your squeeze page. So the more targeted you can be with your squeeze page, you talk to one person, you talk about their situation, you talk in their language, then the more opt-ins you're going to get. You're going to get more people to opt in, and that's what we want. Out of every 100, we want possibly 20 people to opt in, which is absolutely great. If you get a 10% opt-in ratio, that's still good, but you need to try to get these things fairly right in order to be able to get those sort of numbers. Another thing we want is we want it to be personal. So this is having a personal approach instead of the corporate approach where you have a sort of a corporate website. Maybe you have a picture of a big office building and so forth, and you get people to opt in. Well, people think that's what people want, but that's actually not what they want. People want personal. They want a real person on the other end, And the way I've done this here is you can see I've put a photo of myself down here on the right-hand bottom corner, and I've also put a signature, and that makes it rather personal. So if you even just add your photo and your name, that's quite good. Some people will put a phone number as well. That makes it more personal. So make it personal. Make it feel like it's one person to another. Hey, I'm on your level. I can help you out. I know how you feel. I've been there. I've come out of that same situation. You know, speak to their language, feel what they're feeling, and make it personal. One person helping another. And then you want to have it single purpose. If you're building a squeeze page, and that's what we're talking about today, generally you're going to have a single purpose squeeze page, which simply means that the one purpose of this web page is to get people on the list. Now, the way that comes out is that you would not put any other advertising, you wouldn't put AdSense on there, you wouldn't put other affiliate offers there on that page. You can put all this on the next page after they opt in, or you can even direct them to another sales page. But on the squeeze page itself, you don't want to give them other options. You only want to give them the option to opt in. Now, if you have a larger website or many blog posts, you might have a squeeze opt-in box on the side of the page. That's different, and that's just trying to leverage that space, trying to leverage people who are there to read something else, because some of them will still opt in. But when you're building a squeeze page, you don't want any other distraction. You want to be able to direct that person straight onto your list and nowhere else. And the great news about your squeeze page is it can look simple, especially when you're getting started. I mean, we see big names out there who are promoting their products, and if you look at their opt-in pages, they are very simple. They'll have a red headline, they'll have a larger sub-headline, they'll have a short copy with bullets, and then a call to action to the opt-in. So it can look very simple. It doesn't have to have flash and all these beautiful images and layouts. It can look simple, and it can be very compelling. Sometimes looking simple is going to get you better results. So don't get caught up about the web design of it, or about having the fancy colors and image backgrounds. Don't use image backgrounds and those sort of things. Keep it simple, and it's about the words. It's about how you lay it out. It's about what you say. So it can look very simple and yet be often even more effective than a flash-looking site. And you're going to need a privacy policy. So this is just a legal requirement because you are getting people's contact details. You want to protect yourself from any kind of legal action. So you want to have a privacy policy, and you'll basically link that down the bottom of the page. And you need contact details. Once again, you want to be personal. You want to be contactable. You don't want to be invisible. People want to be able to contact you. So basically your squeeze page should have a contact link down the bottom of the page. And that page should have your contact details. Don't just put your email there, because the chances are you'll end up being spammed. There are many robots out there just grabbing people's email addresses and spamming you advertisements. So instead of that, if you have a script that has a contact form, that's the best option to have. Or another way to do it is to have your email in an image and just upload that image on a page, and that way the robots won't take it from the HTML code.
That's pretty. So that's a great idea, actually, Matthew. I like that idea, just to put it in, as an image. That's fantastic. Yeah, so even if you just put in any image, so if you just put your phone number and so one of Paint or something like that, and you turned it into a JPEG, that would be better,
Yeah,
right? Okay,
absolutely. Now that
fantastic.
works great. And the robots that are out there pulling people's private contact details are not reading images. I mean, the technology is there to read images, but the spammers out there are not reading images as far as I
Okay,
know.
cool.
So that should work out fine. All right, we're going to take a quick look at hosting. And hosting is web hosting.